feel like he thought ahead and thought like Gogonsing is definitely going to ban his Shaman, and that's like Shaman is always good against Sue.
Well, I think, I don't know, it's really close. Like, that's the closest of the matchups.
We're trying to be, we're trying to get into their heads right now.
Yeah, maybe he just doesn't like playing against Warlock.
Yeah,
I don't
maybe.
even know.
It's all about what they're comfortable with, I guess. So we're going to see in game number 1, Gogongsing's Dragon Warrior versus Ledah's Miracle Rogue, which actually doesn't have any questing. It's like the classic Miracle Rogue.
Really don't like this deck right now.
You hate the Miracle Rogue? Why?
Well, I like the questing adventure version. I feel like you need more dynamic win conditions against the decks that are a little bit faster. This version of the deck, I think, is much weaker against Dragon Warrior. Because Dragon Warriors lack hard removal for lots of big threats.
Right.
But they can deal with lots of small stuff because their minions are overstated for their cost because of the Dragon synergy. So they don't deal with questing adventures very well. They have to have execute, and they're not going to keep execute in their early hand. So a lot of times with the questing adventure version, you can just race.
Yeah, I agree with that. What do you think about backstab coin SI here? Or backstab and just hero power and hit? Because I mean, you're not going to get the SI agent combo next turn, most likely.
It's really tough because you know that I would actually just prefer Coin Edwin, to be honest. Your next turn, a 3-drop for Warriors are usually 3/4. Either they play another 2-drop, or they play a Fierce Monkey or a Frothy Berserker. And so either way, he wants to probably save Coin or Backstab SI at least for one more turn.
Right.
And see, this is another reason why I like the questing adventure version, because in that situation, you feel like you could go with Coin SI or Coin Edwin more because you have another big threat in questing adventure that you can have for later. But this situation, Ledah, I think, felt like he needed to hold on to the Edwin for a really big Edwin, so he had to just take extra damage in place of it.
Yeah.
And
I was actually just about to say that like his winning factor is based on this kind of Edwin Van Cleef.
Yeah.
It has to make it big, conceal it, and hope that, you know, Gogonsing does not have the Icar execute, which he does actually in his hand right now.
yeah. And I like the face push. Rogues usually don't have ways to heal up, but Ledah does.
Yep, because without the questing adventure, you do have the Farseers.
Yep, and you have Valid Teachers. You just have a lot more room to put stuff in the deck, but that's such a safe play. I don't know. This is just playing a Valid Teacher to have it be thrown out there to die, and this is exactly what Dragon Warrior wants to do. Kill a minion, develop a minion every single turn. That's what it excels at, and that's how Gogonsing is going to win this.
And we've seen one execute already, so Ledah knows that he probably doesn't have the other one.
Yeah. Ledah also saw that, hey, you didn't have a way to get through my Twilight Guardian last turn. Why would I trade? I'm going to put you at 15, activate my Draconic Crusher, and put you in the same exact position that you were in last turn.
Yeah, this is actually doing... Gogonsing is actually dealing a lot of damage. The game is going to be over pretty soon. Unless Ledah has a way to... Oh, he doesn't even have his sap.
Well, he can Blood Mage, Prep Fan, and Evaluate, and then Edwin for a 8/8, as well as clear everything off the board except for the 3/1 Alexstras's Champion.
Yeah, I really like the Edwin here.
He is at 9, though. And Gogonsing has passed the sap check 3 turns now in a row. So he can probably just push face again, and that way Ledah has to find a way to deal with the 9/9, and he doesn't. So he'll be able to heal up with the Earthring Farseer. Oh wait, you know, he doesn't have a way to deal with it, but he has to take 3 if he does it that way.
Right.
I don't know.
Do you think he even has room to Gogonsing here and then coin? Or do you think maybe he should just see what he gets from his Thalnos first? If he gets a sap, that would be good.
Yeah, that Thanos is going into that 9/8 no matter what, so. Yeah, I think he's just going to make the trades, conceal this Auctioneer, and hope that he can win the game before Gogonsing piece together 6 damage.
And he definitely has to make the trade here or else he dies.
Gogonsing is like, okay, how am I going to deal the rest of this 6 damage? And doesn't draw into anything yet, but Rag could be a big deal in this game.
Definitely. Rag could just go face and that's going to be it.
But we also have to think about the Earth of the Ring Forest here that might be able to put him out of range of a lot of things. Put him out of range of a crazy Rag shot. It'd put him out of range of, you know, a Fiery War Axe, like 1 Fiery War Axe.
Yeah, actually, he's actually going to Cold Blood here and then Earthen Farseer. So yeah, he knows that it's turn 8 is coming and he doesn't want a Rag or a Grom. But even the Grom wouldn't have killed him though, just the Rag. No Dragon Synergy. I still think he... Okay, well he has the choice now. I think maybe the Grom is better in this situation. Yep. He's going to take out this Auctioneer.
I don't know.
Would you just 1 and 3? Oh no, actually it's not even a 1 and 3 because he's at 9 HP. Because if it hit face...
I might actually... Okay, so there was 11 damage on board. He was at 26. So Ledah would have to piece together 15 damage from hand. Yeah, I guess so. I was thinking maybe just Grom face.
I think he just doesn't want Ledah to draw anymore.
Yeah.
And getting rid of that 1 extra minion would help his Rag later on.
Yeah. Dragon would be pretty good here, but doesn't pick one up, but does get Fiery War Axe.
It's time for the Rag, and he's hoping to get the 7-3, or even the 4-4 would be great. But nope, it gets the face, which is something he did not want. You can see that he's just really annoyed by that.
But I think that just wins him the game. Because he can just Fire War Axe next turn. Ledah doesn't have enough damage to kill him. He's at 11.
Yeah.
He's 1 damage off.
I know, I was actually about to say that. 1 damage off is just nuts. So, oh my goodness. But Gogonsing thinks he's in a lot of trouble though. So but he's realizing, wait, actually, Ledah might not even have it.
He hasn't had like damage for the last couple turns. He used his Grom. So Ledah is just going to go for it here.
He's actually thinking if he plays the Leroy, Gogonsing might just concede. Or no.
Yes, see Gogonsing's face. He's saying, oh man, he doesn't have it. That's not enough.
It's not enough.
1 damage off.
But no, he's still going to watch, and he's actually relieved to see that every single card was played and it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, you never would concede, right? Until you actually see yourself in a tournament actually lose.
In the lower bracket semifinals of a major, no way.
Exactly.
You're not conceding until your hero portrait blows up or your opponent has exactly on the board. So Gogonsing takes game number 1 with the Dragon Warrior, a very close matchup. And I don't know.
I'm sure his heart was like, oh my gosh,
yeah.
I can't believe it. It was so close. It was like 1 off for Ledah. Very, very tight.
So I don't know. I don't think that version of Rogue is good enough against Dragon Warrior. There was a reason why Dragon Warrior was considered a favorite for a long time, and a reason why people recently switched to say that Rogue is it's 50-50 or that Rogue is favored because of the fact that the questing adventure Rogue is much more. You put much more consistent pressure on the board early on because you have 3 things that can just get huge and you can race. Whereas with this version, it was just Van Cleef, and then he was out of gas. Yeah.
Totally agree with you there. I just remember my Dragon Warrior in the ladder was beating a ton of rogues, and then all of a sudden, I got faced with the questing once, and I was like, uh-oh, this is kind of hard now. A
concealed questing adventure can just kill you. You have to have execute, and you know, even though Warrior has the best removal in the game, Dragon Warrior only runs the 2 executes as their removal. They don't even have spells that deal damage. Like Druid doesn't have really hard removal except for Mulch, but they have Wrath and Swipe and Living Roots and spell damage built into the deck more so than
Feral Rage.
Yeah, Feral Rage Shamans have, well, yeah.
sorry.
Feral Spirits or Feral. Oh my goodness, what's it called?
I thought we were talking about Druids.
Yeah, we are talking about Druids. Is it Feral Rage?
It's
For
Feral
some reason, I
Rage.
thought Feral Spirits.
I was like,
what
wait,
the
are we
heck?
going into shamans now?
Oh my goodness. It hasn't even been that long of a day yet. I don't know. I'm already mixing up the Feral cards.
You're just getting too excited, TJ.
Yeah, yeah. I think I looked down at Shaman at my notes, and I was like, wait a second, Shaman, Feral Spirits. It's got to be what she's talking about.
Well, we might be seeing a shaman, Gogonsing's shaman next turn. So, and he's also got his tempo mage with a Medivh, the Guardian.
Also a Blizzard. Two
I-
Flame Strikes, a Blizzard, and Medivh with a Temple Mage package. I really like it. I've been trying to play around with a Medivh Temple Mage version, and I feel like you need a little bit more stall. You need to play a little bit more slow, and I tried with Cabal's Tome.
Right.
But it's not that good because you're sort of doubling up on extra tempo or you're doubling up on the grindy part of it. So what you need to do with Medivh is double up on the stall point because Medivh is already going to give you extra tempo because it summons minions. So I really like it, and I'm really excited to see that. So I hope we get to see the tempo mage from Gogonsing.
Yeah.
It's very likely at this point.
It'll be a good match for sure.
Wait a second.
So game number 2, Ledah with the rogue.
It said his Warlock was banned
Yeah.
on the overlay. Okay. Well, his Warlock's not banned.
Maybe, yeah, I guess his warlock's not banned.
So I'm guessing his Shaman's banned. Yeah. Because he played Dragon Warrior, I can't imagine anybody would ban Temple Mage.
Yeah, and you were saying, why would he ban the warlock,
That's
right?
why I was so confused why he would ban the Warlock. I would think it would be Dragon Warrior mid-range Shaman.
Okay.
But yeah, so we are going to get to see the Warlock. This is a discard zoo. Double Soulfire, double Doomguard, double Silverware Golem, double Malchus Imp, double Darkshire Librarian. No Fist of Jaraxxus, though. Waiting for that card to make an
Well,
appearance.
people said that it was bad. Like, we see a couple of them on the ladder, but then someone was like, you know what, that is actually a bad card.
Yeah. Darkshire Librarian's a little bit more consistent in a discard deck because at least it draws a card afterwards. It's not clunky. It's a 2-mana 3/2, which is, equal stat line, but 4 mana to deal 4 damage. If you can't play it without the discard effect, like being relevant, 4 mana for 4 damage is bad.
Yeah. That was such an awkward turn. Did you see that for Ledah?
Yeah.
His turn 3, he just had to hero power.
Yeah, but Ledah's got a pretty good hand other than that against Zoo. He's got Vile Teacher Prep Phantom Knives, whereas the Questing Adventure version is better against other decks in the format. The Vile Teacher version is much better against Zoo
That's true.
because you're much more grindy. You have more early minions that you can just plop on the board and say go. So that's why Questing Adventure Rogue sort of became more popular, was because there was less Zoo in the meta.
So do you think he's going to drop the teacher here and then...
I think he can play Tomb Pillager and then try and roll into Violet Teacher, Deadly Poison, Prep Phantom Knives next turn. He'll also have a coin, so if he picks up, I guess he could conceal, but I definitely think that Tomb Pillager is the way to go.
Do you think he... Yeah, okay. It is a nice turn, but Soulfire...
I don't.
Yes, so we have confirmation that the Shaman of Gogonsing is banned.
Okay.
So both their Shamans are bad.
Well,
No Shamans here.
this could be a huge swing. Gogonsing could go for a 50-50 for Silverware Golem here with Flame Imp, Possessed Villager, and Soulfire. And he's going to go for it. This could be huge. If he spawns the Silverware Golem onto the board,
Oh,
it's
no.
lights out for Ledah. Let's see.
Nope.
Oh. And Defender of Argus being discarded is actually a big deal because Defender of Argus is one of the best cards against Rogue if you're the Zoo player.
Right.
And with Shadow Strike drawn, I guess it doesn't matter too. No, it does matter, I think. But this has to be the turn that Ledah goes for a big swing with preparation and probably Violet Teacher because he's taking a lot of damage. And Gogonsing, his head is in his hands. You can tell that. I mean, imagine the landscape of this game if Silverware Golem was on the board and Defender of Argus was in his hand.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. I guess Violet Teacher are not being used, but this is still pretty good. He's taking
most of the board out here.
He's taking 5 power off the board. Yeah.
So now he's actually stabilized, and Gogonsing has just... He's going to have to tap and see what other stuff he can get. Another Soul Fire.
Well, that is going to be good for the following turn. Maybe he goes for another 50-50 here. I don't know. Asterix is very threatening. Okay, he's not going to go for it.
Save it for later.
Shame. I mean, it might have been better that because Rogue is in such a great position now with an Asterix surviving for a turn. I might have tried to go for it again. I think the potential of having a Silver Golem on the board and the Asterix gone is much more. And he lost the last one. I mean, what are the odds that you lose the 50-50 twice in a row?
I'm thinking of what the best play here is for Ledah. I would like to see the Teacher already, making some tokens.
I like Teacher, Cold Blood, Conceal. Then he sets up for lethal next turn. It's almost a guaranteed win as long as Gogonsing doesn't kill him or draw into the second Defender of Argus, which is really unlikely since the first one's been discarded. So.
Oh my goodness! And this time, Soulfire can't even kill the Azure Drake. Oh, double Soulfire though.
Well, he's got 8 damage from hand, so he's got to win the 50-50 here to have a chance, and he doesn't get it.
That is... The discards aren't going too well for Gogosing.
Yeah, so if he discarded Silver Golem there, he could have tapped, and if he drew 2 damage, he would have had lethal. Oh my goodness.
Oh my.
He's going to be 4 damage off. That would have been game if he had discarded the Silver Golem. That is crazy.
That is nuts. It's because of that one little thing changed everything.
2 50-50s in a row, and Ledah should be singing praises right now because that Rogue should not have won that game.
Well, you know, sometimes it happens. This is Hearthstone. Sometimes the RNG is just, it's not your day.
And right now, it's really not Gogonsing's day. And Ledah, of course, it's pretty cool. The players have these little sheets on the back of their passes where they can keep track of their matches and their bans and stuff.
Yeah. I saw that, actually. Okay, let's get this right this time, the bans. So, apparently, Ledah's Warlock is banned. So we're not going to see Ledah's Warlock.
Which makes much more sense because Gogonsing's lineup is much worse against Zoo because his Dragon Warrior is a single Ravageable Dragon Warrior. Temple Mage and Midrange Shaman both can struggle against Zoo, especially the Midrange Shaman that Gogonsing has, which is the Trog version. And he doesn't have like Rogue or Druid, which would like increase his win rate against
yeah, it makes more sense now.
Sometimes.
And Gogonsing's Shaman was banned. Yeah. I keep calling him Gogo. Gogo.
Gogo?
Gogo is a lot easier to say.
Yeah.
So yeah, and you can see that Ledah was wearing his Myth shirt, which
MITH.
is... Yeah, Myth. Or is it not MITH?
It's MITH.
Oh, I
It's
always thought it was
MITH.
Myth.
Yeah.
It stands for Made in Thailand.
Yeah, yeah. So they don't like. I was told they don't like when people pronounce it myth.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That sounds cool.
It does sound cool. It would be cool, but people don't like it.
Okay.
MITH.
MITH.
MITH sounds cool. Sounds cool as well.
MITH. Sounds like
Yeah.
a college.
Yeah. Well, MIT is a college.
Yeah.
And H would be, I don't know, the Hearthstone,
Hearthstone.
version of MIT. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
If only MIT had a Hearthstone division.
Right, definitely. That would be cool. Imagine a Hearthstone school. What kind of school would it be like?
Well, there are some colleges that give scholarships for esports now.
That's true.
But it's mostly like there's a lot involved in it. It's not an actual scholarship like you would normally think for like academics.
I'm
Just sort of
thinking
like a program.
I'm thinking more of like a fantasy side where like it's kind of like Harry Potter but for Hearthstone, and like there's different classes that you can take to learn different classes like Warlock.
I don't know if anybody ever told you, Pather, but Harry Potter's not real.
I know. I said fantasy.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. But yeah, tied up 1-1 now. And looks like we're about to jump into game number 3. Interested to see how Gogonsing's going to bounce back from that one, because that's a brutal
I
loss.
know.
I actually wouldn't have even tapped because, no, well, he wasn't 100% dead yet because Ledah still had to have damage from hand, I think. But we're going to move into Zoo versus Shaman. Ledah's Shaman is mid-range, or it is mid-range, but it's a little bit different than normal mid-range because it runs Tunnel Trog and Faceless, Flamery Faceless, which is sort of the classic mid-range Shaman. Not classic, but mid-range Shaman for like 2 months ago, as opposed to the current mid-range Shamans, which like have been cutting Trog and cutting Flamery Faceless and running like Spirit Claws and Azure Drakes in place of those in sort of those slots.
Yeah, and Ledah's Shaman has an Alakir instead of the Doom Guard. Sorry, the Doom Hammer. They usually have if they have the Doom Hammer, they don't have Alakir.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
But Gogonsing's early hand is atrocious. It's really bad.
Oh no.
That's like the worst hand that you could possibly get. And it would make it even worse is if his next card was second Soulfire or Doom Guard.
Well, I think he feels okay now that he just sees a hero power on turn 2. He has to
He's
play.
so fed up with his Silver Golems that he's just playing them on 3.
Right.
That's rough.
Yeah, now his wolf can't. Oh, his wolf can't even kill this Trog. He's going to have to Soulfire this down. Or, well, actually, yeah, he could Defender of Argus and just trade, actually.
Yeah, Defender of Argus is a very hard card to use in this matchup because it's all about the board. So if you can hit 1 minion, then you're in a good spot. Searing Totem is a little awkward, actually, for Gogonsing.
Yeah, it's not what he wanted to see.
Yeah.
Oh, his power cards just got discarded.
Yeah. But I actually like minions. To be honest, the minions aren't too bad. Yeah. Jace is going to get punished by Hex, but...
That's good ordering. Getting the Doom Guard attack before sacrificing his wolf. He could... Ledah could actually hero power and then... Or actually drop the Flame Tongue and then like drop Thing from Below so that if Doomguard dies.
Yeah. I think this is probably going to be the best Hex target that you can get, though.
That is true. He did see like a Soulfire and a Power Overwhelming get discarded though. But yeah,
so I think you might as well just get it out of the way. Not give Gogonsing any chance to get more value out of the Doomguard if you know that you want to remove it anyway. And here powering with a Thankful Bill in your hand makes you able to get a swing turn. Because sometimes instead of playing like Thing from Below on 4, if you're ahead in the game, it's better to play it for 0 later on in combination with other things so that your opponent can't just remove one thing a turn. The turn that you play it, you're protecting smaller important minions with it. So definitely like to try and hold on to that to make it much cheaper.
Yeah, and we can see it's actually getting, it's down to 3 now.
Yeah, next year you can go down to 1 with Flame Tongue plus a Totem up, so.
Ooh, let's see what we get from the Dark Peddler here. That's...
I'd like to see his choices, because Reliquary Seeker's probably not going to get that much value.
Yeah, I mean, there's no ritual in here. He's going to try and... I don't think he's ever going to have a full board to play this Reliquary Seeker.
I mean, it depends what he draws next turn. I mean, if he taps into 2 minions, then yes. Two playable minions, like if he draws a minion and then has a playable minion, but having 2 playable minions that you can play for 4 mana at this stage in the game is not the most likely thing in the world. I mean, I guess his deck is less spells now. So, and he realizes that he's kind of behind of the point where he should be in this matchup, where he can usually run away with the board early on. So maybe he thinks that he needs to take a risk and hope that he draws into 2 playable minions the following turn to get it to be a 5/5. So, Soulfire, that's awkward.
Well, yeah, this makes him want to play the Seeker first before Soulfiring.
I mean, it's still just a 1/1.
And then just tap and see what he gets.
He can clear the board here, actually, almost.
Ooh, that's a nice pickup. Can even play whatever he gets. He could get Immortal Coil.
Maybe he's taking right now if he wants to play on Lightning Storm, but I think Lightning Storm blows you out anyway. You're not winning if he Lightning Storms.
Exactly.
So just go for it.
And actually, he's pretty lucky that Ledah doesn't have his Lightning Storm yet, or
Yeah,
is
I don't think Ledah actually runs Maelstrom Portal, so that's...
You don't think so?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Ledah seems to have like these classic kind of decks.
Yeah. He doesn't like the new cards. He doesn't like Spirit Claws. Actually, he might have had Spirit Claws.
Just going to clear the board.
And get rid of all the totems, which is a big deal. Ooh, Fire Elemental.
But do you play the... Yeah, probably the Fire Ellie and just get rid of the Taunt and then just trade into the 2-1. Otherwise your Squire would have been useless there.
Yeah. He really needs something big here to play. I guess Imp Boss is the best he can hope for, but Alec here feels like it's just going to wreck this board.
It hurts to trade because, you know, if Ledah just gets a Lightning Storm, here we go, it's going to hurt a lot.
Yeah, but to be honest, Gogonsing's actually sort of vetted his deck for a lot of the small minions. He doesn't have many 1-drops left. He doesn't really have... He's got a lot of the meat left. He's got a Doomguard left. He's got a Soulfire left. Or no, he doesn't have a Soulfire left. He's got a Silverware Golem left. I mean, I guess he still has a Voidwalker and Malkazir's Imps, but...
You can see Gogonsing's face.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to sacrifice any more of my minions. But I feel like Ledah put that out so that he can trade the Imp Gang into it and then Lightning Storm. Ooh, but then there's another one.
Yeah, I don't think this game is over yet, though. Lightning Storm can do a lot, but it won't clear everything. It will still leave the Imp up. Now it'll clear a lot. But...
Well, he could Rockbiter first, right? And then Lightning Storm?
Yeah, but it'll still leave 2 1/1s.
Yeah.
It might be the best play. But then he gives Gogonsing pretty much full initiative.
He could just drop his Valiant bluff after that.
Yeah. So Doomguard would be so good for Gogonsing right now.
Yeah.
Because it would basically mean he's drawing 2 cards a turn, whereas Ledah is drawing 1 and has no cards in his hand. So let's see. Gets Direwolf Alpha and Silverware Golem. That's not good.
Yeah, he's just going to have to play everything, though. I mean, Ledah's going to be hero powering every turn, and Gogonsing wants a board to be able to deal with those pesky totems.
Yeah.
And they're both down to 17 HP. The extra.
Yikes.
Ow.
All right, well, that's probably going to be irrecoverable from Gogonsing.
Right.
And Flame Imp is not what he wants to see at this stage in the game.
Yeah, when you're low on health, it's like you're going to do more damage to your face using a Flame Imp, but you have no choice. Probably, yeah. Oh, did someone not end their turn yet? It's Gogonsing.
Yep, he's just deciding whether or not he can afford to trade into Thunderbolt Valiant. But if he doesn't trade into Thunderbolt Valiant, he takes at least 11 next turn, because the Wrath of Air Totem buffed up to 4 with the hero power. So I think he's really just trying to think, like, how do I win?
Can he even still win?
I like the value trades.
Wow.
Okay.
That's really tough. He can actually play everything. Might as well play everything.
Yep.
So Gogonsing can be like, you know what? This game is over.
Gogonsing. I don't know what he was expecting. There's not many bad draws at this stage in the game for the Shaman deck that Ledah has. Maybe like Tonal Trog would have been the best, But
I just like watching his
yeah,
reactions.
he's very expressive.
Definitely. It's like,
All right, well, Ledah is going to take game 3 and go to a 2-1 lead. One game away from moving on to the lower bracket finals, where he'll guarantee himself at least 4th,
yeah.
I think.
And that 4th is still pretty good. You get Hearthstone points, you get cash.
Yeah.
It's like, actually, it's the same as being 3rd. Same HCT points, same amount of cash.
HCT points don't really matter too much at the moment because they don't carry over. And last call is effectively closed for every player. Throne and GCT Turth were the only two. Throne made it pretty far. He made it to the lower bracket round of 16, which is like top 24 in the tournament. But that's not enough to get into the HCT points, and definitely not enough to push him into last call. He actually needed to win the tournament in order to get enough points to qualify for last call.
Yeah,
so.
but he's actually out already, right?
Yeah, he is. And so, but the money's nice, and also just the bragging rights, the prestige of winning a major in your home region. And especially for Ledah, who's, like, you can tell he's actively trying to build his Hearthstone career and his resume, you know, practicing enough to win the Southeast Asia preliminary, and now here to make it all the way to the top 6 players out of an open field of 128 is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, he's actually proving himself to be kind of consistent. Especially, like I said earlier, he's like the Southeast Asia summer champion. And then now he's actually climbing really far in this tournament. So he's definitely a good player representing Thailand.
All right, well, potentially the last game of the series, Gogonsing versus Ledah. Ledah's going to have the Druid left, and Gogonsing has the Tempo Mage, and this is the deck that I've been looking forward to. It's a Tempo Mage, but it runs Medivh, 2 Flame Strikes, and a Blizzard.
Ooh, that's going to be interesting. Living Roots out on turn 1. It's always kind of scary to use your Living Roots like that and create saplings because of arcane missiles. So I always find that nice to kill it, use it to kill like a Sorcerer's Apprentice or something.
Yeah, the only reason you play Living Roots on turn 1 in this situation is to push damage, but I don't think it's worth it because the biggest threats you have against this deck are 2-mana 3/2s. So being able to just kill it instead of having to worry about, you know, the mage pinging them off and then playing the 2-mana 3/2s is beneficial. He does get the Wrath, which protects them.
Yep.
But I don't know if it's worth it to push 3 damage in order to do that, especially since he's really not doing anything. Now the second one's just going to get pinged off, and now he doesn't have Living Roots as a piece of removal for this game. This game's not about pushing damage. Well, maybe. Ledah does have a classic token druid with Nixia, Wisps of the Old Gods, and Cenarius.
You know what? And he doesn't run Yogg in his druid. Some people will say, that's a mistake. Yogg is too good in this meta.
It's also a dead card in your hand for a large portion of the game.
Yeah, he actually won with like the same decks. So, and he also didn't have Yogg when he won the Southeast Asia Summer Prelims.
Yeah.
So he's being loyal to the decks he won with.
Yeah, if you run Savage Roar, I feel like Yogg can be a liability sometimes in your deck because you need stuff to place on the board.
It's probably just gonna be hero power here.
I don't really know why he played a Sorcerer's Apprentice here. If he doesn't have a turn 4 play, you're giving him an excuse to kill it. And pinging this is almost effectively the same because Sorcerer's Apprentice, if you play 2 spells, automatically makes up for its cost the following turn. And if Gogonsing was planning to throw those spells, I also don't like playing Flamewaker on the empty
Because
board.
of the swipe.
Ledah's hand was obviously bad early on, so giving him an excuse to kill high priority minions like this, not so sure.
I guess the swipe could wait, yeah, definitely. Draws 3 cards, and a swipe and a hero power later is okay. Especially since he's got Innervate also in his hand.
He's gonna leave it up though. Here's the Blizzard. Time for the damage push.
Yeah, see, the swipe is actually really good in this position.
Yeah. Wow, Violet Teacher Innervate swipe is actually really sick.
I like that a lot.
Pay attention, class.
Clearing the Flame Waker and the Thalnos with its spell damage is a good feeling.
And next turn, if the Violet Teacher doesn't get dealt with, Ledah can just play Wisps of the Old Gods.
Yeah.
And it summons the 1/1 and buffs everything by a 2/2. So Violet Teacher becomes a 5/7, and he'll have 3 3/3s on the board. So I think Gogonsing realizes going to play Firelance board, a really great pickup. And that's
an okay minion.
a little bit below average. there.
Yeah, it's okay. Ooh. You could play the 1/1s. Oh, but he's got the Blizzard, and Ledah knows that, and also the Flame Strike. They know each other's deck lists, so I'm sure he's like thinking about that. Get some Fandral value here.
He picks up Wrath.
That would actually be great.
A huge board swing. Cavalier Raider is also really good.
Yeah, it's actually the best one out of them. Mulch is good for dealing with Medivh, but would he want Innervate to play anything else in this turn?
He could Mire Keeper, get the Mana Crystal and the 2/2.
He's choosing to do just that.
Also play very heavily into Blizzard.
I mean, yeah, this is actually... Well, the Flame Strike doesn't kill the Fandral, but Blizzard...
Arcane Missiles might.
Blizzard Arcane Missiles. Or you just trade in the 4/3 into the 3/3. And just like ping it down later. The Mire Keeper.
Or just try and get it caught up in a Flame Strike the next turn. I mean, I think Medivh's being played next turn, so he wants to remove everything off the board right now. He's going to try and roll Medivh into Flame Strike, into a bunch of spells.
This
But-
turn might be a... It could be Wisps of the Old Gods, since he's seen the Blizzard, that one Blizzard that he was dodging. Because he's not too upset if he uses Flame Strike on this. 7 for 7.
Yeah, it's a card for a card, and if Gogonsing doesn't clear it, he just wins.
Right.
Ledah just wins, so...
Someday I'll be just like you.
It's a great pickup, because now he's left with a minion, even after Flame Striking. Soul of the Forest. Classic token druid card that back in the day.
Yeah. This is actually really... it's kind of annoying that he drew the Soul of the Forest and the Power of the Wild right after he played
Oh, right.
his only copy of Wisps. So it looks like he's going to Power of the Wild and Arcane Giant if he's mousing over the Power of the Wild for a 3/2. Actually quite scary if you're Gogonsing, because you know that he has Savage Roar in this deck.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, it sounds so pretty. Ooh. It's gonna have to Frostbolt the, Arcane Giant and then trade into the Panther.
Blade Cold.
Well, yeah, play the Arcane Blast. Or actually, yeah, that's fine.
Not the best use of Medivh, though.
Yeah.
3/1 drops is not so good.
Ooh. It's a wisp.
Actually, there's 0 drops because it doesn't take the cost of the spell. It takes the cost of how much you cast the spell for. So it ends up being 0 mana instead of 1 mana, and his Frostbolt ended up being 1 mana instead of 2 mana.
Oh, that is just nuts.
Because
I
of-
didn't even realize that until you said it.
Because of the Sorcerer's Apprentice that was on the board. So
Yeah.
not the best showcase for Medivh. I'm a little disappointed. but I mean, Gogonsing still has a shot in this game. It's going to be tough. I mean, Ledah's still got 2 big threats on the board. And going to go with the 1/1s here to try and put this +1/+1 to put this Arcane Giant out of range of anything. If he trades in the Medivh, he wouldn't be able to ping up the Arcane Giant unless he picks up extra damage.
Yeah, actually, Ledah had lethal already. Well, unless Gogonsing dealt with his minions. The mirror images was a nice pickup, stopping this Arcane Giant from hitting the face.
Yikes.
Ooh.
I mean, Ledah can just be patient here. He can nourish this turn if he wants to.
Does he want to play Teacher with it?
Yeah, Teacher Soul of the Force gives you, I guess this is, yeah.
It's okay too. And you just hear powers and then like...
Yeah, I mean, I think he has plenty of time. I feel like he could have nourished first.
Right.
Because he still would have had a 3/5 and a 1/1, and also the Arcane Giant. He just would have had 3 extra cards. He might be able to combo and get a bigger board to deal with. And Cold Sorcerers, there's actually a lot of bad top decks for Gogonsing at this stage in the game.
Yeah, Arcane Intellect would be good though.
It would be. It'd be great.
Ooh. Is this gonna be it? Right?
I mean, I think it's time for Ledah to just... He can just cruise control the rest of this game.
It's not lethal yet. So he's gonna have to draw cards. And when your opponent draws more cards and you don't have any cards, it's not a good feeling.
Yeah. Ledah can close his eyes and click buttons and probably still come out on top. He's just gonna load up the board as much as possible. Set up for a Savage Roar next turn.
There's a lot of options for Ledah right now, basically. Draw,
Yeah.
draw, and more draw.
Gogonsing is vigorously tapping at his head. But I don't really think that much is going to get him out of this one. He needs exactly Flame Strike, and even then, Ledah's just going to play Onyxia or play Cenarius and then win the following turn, so should be the end of the line for Gogonsing.
Well, that was pretty fast. I mean, what he needs is Yogg. Oh my goodness, that's actually really good. And then if he gets his Yogg, he has a chance to come back.
Yeah.
Possibly.
He needs exactly Yogg next turn in order to win the game.
Raven
And-
Idol first. That extra mana. Oh, wow. More damage. Can hear them outside going wild.
How much damage is this? There's 4 on the board. Savage Roar is 6, that'd be 10. Swipe would be another 4, so that'd be 14. And Living Roots would be another 2, so that'd be 16. So not quite, but I mean,
Yeah.
pretty much anything that he takes there wins him the game even more the next turn. So
Yeah.
Gogonsing needs exactly Yogg's right, and it needs to do something crazy.
No, it's not the Yogg. It's not the Yogg. Oh, and that came too late. Arcane
Yeah.
Intellect.
Fireball into Fireball, and
Oh.
Gogonsing pings and concedes, and Ledah moves on to the lower bracket finals.
Wow.
And at the tie player, there's still, what, 3 tie players still left in the tournament?